Doodleman's 86. Reviews, theories, games, announcements. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doodleman's 86 video, and today I'm going to be doing a NECA figure review. And I think the background, the theme, and the thumbnail, and the title, and everything gave it away. But it is going to be about aliens. Starting from the first movie, which was released in 1979, kind of 1980-ish, the sequel in 1986, the third film in 1992, and so on and so forth, until the last movie, Alien Covenant, which I have over there, which I heard has mixed reviews, so I hope of all things it's good, because I still have not seen it, and I do have it now in 4K Ultra HD, but here is the figure, right there. This is the figure I got, Aliens Ultimate Edition pack. I guess you could say pack, but that's what it is like to me. So here it is. It is the blue version. There is a brown version, but upon you, I have brought the blue version. I like it more than the brown. Kind of reminds me of the films, but that's just me. So let's get straight into this review. And before we continue on, compared to a Godzilla box, you can see right here that it's much more longer and wider. No, well, not wider. It's kind of the same, but it is larger. So that's something very different that I haven't seen, because this is my first NECA that's not a Godzilla. So let's get on with this review. As you can see, it says Ultimate Edition with a blue alien. It says aliens. I love the glow effect. We see aliens here for 17 and up. It says aliens with NECA and real toys over here. Then we have a few images here of some aliens in poses. Then we see down here kind of like the outside world, which I always liked. So let me just quickly read this. The sole survivor of the Nostromo, Ripley is discovered in cryogenic sleep 57 years later by a salvage ship. When she is taken back to Earth, Ripley learns that the company has established human colonies on the same planet where the alien tech originated. After all contact with the colony is lost, Ripley agrees to return to the planet, accompanied by a team of colonial marines. Together, they will rescue any survivors that remain and confront the alien menace head-on. So here they are. I like the movies. They were always great. So here's what you're getting in the pack. It says the same thing over here. NECA real toys. And I've always liked this series. I thought it was one of the better sci-fi ones. You can see all props to the originals right here. It's pretty awesome. And then you see that. That's the bottom, and here's the top, which I just did already. So that was the box. So if you open it in the store, which they will allow you to, or at least for me, you can see there's the alien, kind of greenish, again, on the planet, you can see. And here it is. So let's open this bad boy up. Well, there you go, guys. There is the unboxed figures. Here we have our little aliens, which come with 4 accessories. The alien chestburster, Facehugger, and the egg. But before we get started on that, our little backdrop this time is of the space shuttle, or the space station halls, which were always like one of the most memorable scenes, with the flashing red lights and doors. Garbage littered all. So that's pretty cool, just like that. That'd be awesome, especially since it looks so realistic. And here we have our alien. But before we get into I guess you could say he's like the main star of the show, let's get into the egg, which is what they're born from when the queen lays them. And the egg is right here, as you can see. You can see it's green, kind of dark green. But then you can see some splotches of brown here. You can see some brown spots, which is honestly kind of cool. You can see a few veins here along with the scales and richets. You can see the bottom is, it's pretty much flat, and it has their marking of NECA 20... I want to say it says 2018 or 2016 or 2019. One of those. But yeah, there it is. And I like how they sculpted the goo here. Look at that. The goo is pretty well sculpted. I like how they did that. Kind of like a greenish, almost see-through like. And they did sculpt it. It's not just painted on there. You can see there's some pink flesh over here for the opening of the egg, which has veins as well as wirings, as you can see there. Then the inside is kind of like a super gray. Like it has some form of green, but it's mainly gray. And I think that's pretty much cool. And the figure stands at about, well, it's not a figure, but it stands at about kind of 2.5 inches. Not near 3, mainly 2. But I'm going to give it I'm gonna give it 2, but you guys saw for yourself, so you know what? You can judge, you can say how big he is, and honestly, I just say he's 2 inches. As for the alien that comes out of the egg, the Facehugger. The thing you don't want to see walking around alone with you. Here it is. There it is. Then here's the inside where it hugs you. It hugs your face. So getting into the figure itself, it just looks like a spider crab, honestly. Like a spider crab, or it looks like when your hands go like this. Like, you could say these are the thumbs, and then these are the rest of the fingers. I don't know where the thumb would be, though. But that's kind of what it looks like a spider crab. You can see the ridges over here. They start at the top and form all the way to the bottom until the end of the tail is here, which they use as a whip or to hug your face. Then there's the inside, which I'm not going to show a lot of. And the fingers, I wish, could move, but you know what? It's fine. It's honestly kind of hard to make a facehugger toy. And you can see there's a bendy wire in here, which allows you to position the figure however you want. It's found across all 3 of the aliens, but it's super noticeable. As you can see, there is holes, and if you can see the little wire in there that's used to bend. I'm not saying it's a problem, but it's less visible on the xenomorph, but the holes are there. But it's not bad. It's kind of like a yellowish, peachish color, which is pretty great applications. And you can see it's kind of glossy. So I think they did a pretty great job on that. Super good. I liked it. Then, let's get into the chest burster, which is the 3rd stage? Yeah, 3rd stage. Anyway, here he is. Trying to get it to focus. Just trying. As well as you can see the same riches here that form on the back, which is kind of like a dome. You can see, and it forms all the way across to the tail, which is also used like a whip. You can see he is bloody, and he's the same color as a Facehugger. And then you can see they sculpted a tongue, and then the sharp, shiny teeth, his little T-Rex arms, and then all the biomechanical tissue forming all over him. I think that's also pretty sweet. He does stand. Oh, and here's the bendy wire. It's yellow, if you can see. Then he too moves. And I just like to keep them like this because I think it's cool. Also, it's kind of hard to stand though. So that's why I kind of like to keep it like that. But that is just me because I think that's how I like to position them. Let's get into the bad boy himself, the alien. Which is also pretty much hard to stand. Let me just put away these other aliens over here to like the corner, so that just in case he knocks them over, which I don't want to happen. So here he is. Let me just rotate him. There you go. He's a pretty big boy. Like, I'll do a size comparison right now to other figures. So here he is next to a King Kong. He's like pretty much bigger in every way possible. Then let's put him up to the NECA 2014 Godzilla, who he stands way bigger than. Godzilla, poor him, stands super small. Then the SNES NECA Godzilla right here, who is looking literally at his legs. But you can see there's the size. The Playmates 2019 Godzilla, who's exactly the same size, almost a little bigger though, almost reaches his chin, but not quite yet there. And then lastly, but not leastly, the Godzilla 2003 Maser Cannon paint application version, or version 2 if you will, who actually does reach to his chin, right there. So, pulling out the ruler, we can see that he is exactly almost there to 9 inches, kind of 8 if you're counting the dome on his head. But he is like a whopping 9 inches, if you will. He's not too tall, but he's almost there. And before we continue, here he is next to the Playmates Godzilla 2019, and surprisingly, he almost reaches him. He's like right up here to his arms. So that's pretty shocking to like see. I was so like surprised that he's this huge, considering that I thought an alien would be smaller than Godzilla. But then again, we do have Ghidorah, so you know what? There's what I get for thinking things. Anyway, for articulation, you get the head. The head kind of moves. It doesn't move up and down. It does do a little great side to side, though. Then for the mouth, you can see it opens. And if you can get it to, you can open it, but real wide. And the little mouth in here, you can, like, I guess pull out. There you go. Look at that. He does face down, but you know what? Still pretty much gray. I like how they did it. There he is. He's kind of gray. Putting him back in there. In his mouth, you can see that the whole hand moves. And then the elbow moves. And the hands move. And then, just like the Godzilla figures, the fingers move. Just up and down, though. They just kind of like a grabbing action. Same thing goes for over here. Then the leg moves. And then the knees as well, up and forth. Kind of like a little swivel. The whole foot moves. And then the toes also move, which is pretty cool. Then you got a crunch over here at the waist. And then on the tail, yes, it is the same bendy wire. You can position it however you want. It's not like a NECA Godzilla. I like the bendy wire effect, though. And like I said, it's not really noticeable here. The holes are way smaller. And thanks to the fact that this one is kind of like black, you're not really going to see the holes. Or at least most of them. So that's like pretty great. It's pretty cool that you can't really see them. Because then it won't interrupt the figure if you're like doing a stop motion or something like that. So getting into the paint application, you can see the little gray guy in here. He is gray. He's just gray. Kind of with a black wash. I like that. His teeth are silver. The alien himself, his teeth are silver. His claws and fingernails are silver. However, the bottom, the toenails are shiny black. So that's actually kind of surprising. The whole figure is black with some blue washing and coloration, as you can see. Got some aqua blue, some normal blue, some dry blue. Every blue that makes this figure what he is and is now. And the blue is honestly pretty great. I like how they applied it everywhere. And then you can see it's kind of shiny black under the arms and on the tubes over here, if you will. Call tubes. So getting into the sculpt is also great. I like the little inside mouth. The teeth were made beautifully and carefully. You can see some green actually on some of the figures before we move on, such as his knees and kind of the side over here. On his dome head, it's kind of like a thin sheet of skin here. I wish they did it, and I'm not know if they did do it, but I wish they kind of did it like the Funko Pop, or at least the other version where you can see the dome. You can see there's like a skull with eyes here. And I do have a few Funko Pops, and then the skeleton, because the whole point of the dome head is kind of like, it's like a thin layer of skin that hides what's inside the alien. But you know what, I'm pretty sure they did do it. But this one isn't bad either. I wish they did it, but you know what, this is honestly cool. It's also shiny black. It's kind of like the roof of the head. You can see, there it all is, and you see blue. You see the little cutter blade. I'm pretty sure this is based off of the design from Alien's Resurrection, from Alien vs. Predator Requiem. So I think the figure is based off of the Aliens 2 design and the Alien Resurrection design from the blades and all. Or at least that's what I'm thinking, kind of what the design is based off. Then you see on his neck there's some dark blue. And you can see there's these little kind of like wire pipes here. And when you move it, so do they. So not a lot of toys do that, so it's pretty awesome to see them do that. Then you can see some of the crusts here, crusty. You see some pipes here. You see the skeletal design here on the front chest. Kind of looks like a rib cage. I like it. There's the inside of the mouth. Not pink, but pretty cool. You can see the bone popping out of the guy himself. And you see the rigids, and you see all of the bone structure and what makes up the tail. Over here kind of feels kind of bendy, but it doesn't feel bendy like it'll break. And then again, like I have said, it is not really noticeable here. You do see some of the holes, like this one over here, but other than that, it's really not visible. But yeah, that's pretty cool, and I like how they made it, and I like the little things over here. Spikes, dorsal pins, whichever you like to call it. And they do have more NECA aliens, but for this one, it's not so bad, and it's kind of like my first one, and I like it. Let's get him to stand. Hold on, wait. Let me get... Come on. Stand up, son. Okay, well, I'll be back then. As well as for dioramas, you can use the backdrop. You can see here a colonial marine is fighting against one of the aliens, and here we have an alien hugging Godzilla. So, there you go, guys. That was the review. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, and peace out.